It is our honor and privilege to have Senator Shevrin Jones join us today to share his story with us, tell us about his journey, his politics, and so much more. As you'll get to see over this hour, Senator Jones has a tremendous story. He's an amazing public speaker, and I'm just excited for all of us to have him with us today. Thank you for joining us, Senator Jones.
I really appreciate you for having me, Derek, and to my colleague, friend, my sister friend, Representative Fentress Driscoll. Thank you for having me.
But let me introduce you all to my colleague, Senator Shevrin Jones. He is a teacher. He is a nonprofit leader. He is a longtime public servant, and you will not find anyone more passionate on issues, particularly as they relate to education, social justice, and criminal justice. He believes in creating pathways to prosperity for all Floridians. Senator Jones is a Florida native. He was born and raised in Miami Gardens, Carroll City, and he has called West Park home for nearly 2 decades. After teaching AP Chemistry in Broward County Public Schools, he served as Executive Director of South Florida Reading Corps. He also founded South Florida Youth Summit, the largest gathering of young people in South Florida, and Lead Nation, one of South Florida's top organizations for leadership training. As a teacher, leader, and legislator, Senator Jones has always fought to expand opportunities for our kids. Before his election to the state Senate, Senator Jones served in the Florida House from 2013 to 2018. From advocating and really till 2020. You were
2020, that's what it was, yeah.
Right. From advocating and securing funding for youth mentoring to championing legislation that creates transparency between public schools and law enforcement, he consistently fought for real change. He has a track record of working collaboratively across the aisle, and it's no wonder he has so much respect. Please allow me to introduce Senator Shevrin Jones.
Senator Jones, you mentioned that you lost your first race for a city commissioner, but then you won your race for state rep. And as soon as you said that, it immediately made me think of our former president Barack Obama's path, losing his race for Congress, but then becoming senator. So I want to flip it back to you. After that first loss, you keep running for public office and you keep winning. So can you tell us what's the secret to your success?
Well, the easy answer would be persistence, right? That you keep doing it. But I don't know how many people who are watching have had the opportunity or is thinking about reading Barack Obama's book, A Promised Land. And he speaks about those losses. And there's something that he says in the book that Harry Reid told him. He said that as he was preparing to think about whether or not he was going to run for president or not, and he saw all these big time people who were about to run. He saw Hillary, he saw John Kerry, all these individuals. And he said, I'm too young to do this, so I don't think I'm going to do it. I lost a race about 4 years ago, so I'm not going to do it. He said Harry Reid told him, sometimes you just have to do it when your heart tells you and ignore your mind. And that resonated with me so much because so often we could be so headstrong and trying to move into the whatever next dimension of our lives that we should go to where our heart is like, yo, go ahead and do it, which we should be following. And so, yeah, let me finish this statement. To where our heart's telling us to do something, we should definitely do it. But here's the thing that I'm a firm believer in, right? I'm a Christian. I don't shy away from that. And I'm a firm believer on allowing the Lord to kind of tell me, what does this is? And when it's right. People, whether you believe in God or you don't, it's fine. Yeah, whatever instinct you have, it tell you when that right time is. And so, when I run, I run with the understanding that, I'm doing the right thing. And if not, and if I lose, I still win because there was a reason why I did that.
I'm hearing you say that, and one of the first things you said was be persistent. You need to follow your heart, and this is advice I give to my kids all the time. Follow your gut. Yeah. So and you don't know this, but they're out there in TV land listening right now. So this is perfect reinforcement for them that these are the keys to success. Senator Jones, you are Florida's first openly gay state senator. As an openly gay man, can you let us know how has your sexuality factored into your campaigns over time?
Yeah. So when I first got elected, I wasn't. It wasn't public that I was openly gay man because I was married, and that's a story that that many people have asked about, and you can, if you Google it, is there also my full story on there. But I went in married, and then my ex-wife and I, who is now one of my closest friends, me coming out and being honest to her and who I was. I was scared because remember, I go back to what type of household I was raised in. I mean, raising a very conservative home. You can, but you don't know how your parents or your family are going to react when you come out to it. And so, me coming out and now and living my truth, I'll be honest. I said to myself that I would probably never get elected again. And so, and I told you I'm guided by my faith. And so I prayed. I did hit depression. And because here, let me tell you this timeline. I came out as gay. My grandmother passed 6 months later. I had a bad accident 6 months later. 6 months later, my grandmother passed. And then 6 months later, my brother suddenly passed. So I had all of that going against me. And so I'm like, Lord, I can't, there's no way you're going to continue just to bring me through all this and nothing like it's going to come out of it. And to make a long story short, what I decided to do is the Lord just really laid on my heart that, who you are is not how I'm looking at you and how you help people. That's not what it is. I want you to model yourself after Christ. And so therefore I never did walk out and saying with a sign on my head about my sexuality. Nor it was what I did was I led with the light of love, and I continue to do that so people could see me in the work that I want to do for you. And I don't care whether you're gay, straight, whether you're in prison or whether you're in the hospital, it's my obligation to help. And that was my prayer. And I was hoping that people saw that in me and they could set the sexuality aside. And so because the way I thought of myself, people didn't see that. Because people saw, you're a good leader. I mean, whatever my views are about who you are, I like the way you lead. And even when I was running for office, running for Senate, my opponents, they used that against me. If I showed you all the text messages and the things that they sent out, anybody else would probably have lost it because of it. But I decided, you know what? I'm going to stick to what the path is and what people entrusted me to do, and that was to lead them. And 49% of the people were like, yeah, we want that dude.
Why do you think it's important that we celebrate Black History Month?
Yeah, because Black history is American history. Yeah. It's not just like no special. I mean, I know we do it in February, but the same way we do everything else, we should be lifting up Black history. And listen, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X are not the only people who we should be lifting up through in the Black History Month. We have people who have brought us to the place to where we are today. And so I'll say this, that we should look at this and constantly tell people that Black history is American history, because without Black history, it would not be American history. Let's talk about South Florida, which was built by Bahamians who came over from the Caribbean. And not only did they build Miami, but they helped build Tampa and helped build Jacksonville and all these places. So when we talk about Black History Month, a lot of this stuff wouldn't have been or be if it wasn't for it. So Black history is American history. So let's talk about American history.
I love
it. Black folks.
Very well done on the fly. And so just sticking with that theme of Black history, you did share with us that your father is a role model and a hero for you. But are there any other inspirational figures that you look to for guidance? Any personal heroes? And could you tell us how they inspire you?
So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It's not cliche. I mean this because it's a real thing. Because I read the brother's book and I love how I have to have a dictionary next to me when I read his books. Barack Obama. He's just inspirational, and not only is he inspirational, he's thoughtful. And how he presents himself, right? And he shows through just reading his books. When I wanted to find someone who was just as authentic, or who tries to be as authentic as I really genuinely want to be with people, and he's that. to where I never forget, even in his book, y'all go get the book. I'm not trying to tell y'all everything, but it's just so good. I'm just trying to give y'all some pointers. In his book, A Promised Land, he does say, he speaks about how a lady, when he was at a rally, lady came up to him to speak about her condition that she had because she didn't have health care. And he said when he thought she should be crying on his shoulders, he cried on her shoulders because he genuinely said that right now, well, there's nothing I can do to help this woman because I'm not elected yet. And so it's scenarios like that, Fentress, that to where people like him, like President Barack Obama, be respectful, is someone who, I look up to.
You picked a great one. I can tell you, personally, my son, when they had a history day at school, I think 2 years ago, he dressed up as Barack Obama. That was his person. That was his storyboard. And, he's standing there with the classic Obama pose, looking great. My wife has been reading his or listening to his audiobook, for a while now. As you know, it's pretty long. So she's still getting through it. But, I can see her reading it and nodding along. I'm looking forward to picking it up next and,
do it.
So, well, instead of, let's go forward. We talked about what Black History Month means to you. Can you tell us, looking into the future, what's next? What are you passionate about? What are you looking to accomplish in 2021 and beyond?
I'm looking forward to building coalition with my colleagues to work to bring a new type of Florida to Florida. And I think we have some examples that have happened across this state to show what we can do to create a more balanced system. Right now, Florida is so one-sided that is, again, I go back to what I said at the beginning, talking about being bipartisan and working across the aisle, that we're living in a state now to where it's like my idea is much greater than yours. And that's just not, I don't believe that makes it for a great democratic process. And so I'm looking forward to working with my colleagues to bring some wins with some people who care about people and don't care. They're not in it just for their own self-interest, and that goes far beyond just elections. Because here's what I believe: if the only time that we are calling you all cell phone and knocking on your doors just 6 months before election time, you're gonna keep losing. Can't keep doing that. We have to make sure that we're creating an environment to where people are truly civically engaged, where our children are civically engaged at the same time, and we're not just being we're not being reactive, but we're being proactive from the beginning. So I want to work to create that type of system.